So I came here to discuss a social media trend that's kind of bothering me. And it's the one where women and young girls put up pictures of themselves and they're like, hey chat, I don't feel attractive, I don't feel beautiful. What can I do to be more beautiful? And so then you go to the comments and people say an array of things. But the group of people that kind of bother me when they do this are the younger brown girls. And I say brown girls because their features are evident that they have some form of African heritage. They could be Afro-Latina. You know, they have wider set noses or bigger lips or just bigger eyes, all the features that I have. And I'm just like, no, what you have is beautiful. Don't let these Eurocentric ideas of beauty make you feel any less. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of bothers me. Now, this is coming from a woman who will never be conventionally attractive. I think I'm unconventionally attractive, but I don't have, nor do I fit societal standards of beauty. And there was a time where I was really thinking about changing things on my face. I'm deliberately doing this video without any product in my hair, no makeup, to kind of hit my point home, because this is me in my natural state and I love it. Sorry. So I lived in LA for 3 years, a few years back now, and everyone's beautiful out there, right? Like it's something in the water. I don't know. The natives are beautiful. It's an international state, so you have a bunch of international people. It's a transplant state, so you have people from all over coming to California, and everyone is beautiful out there. And I worked at a hair salon at the time, and one of my clients, I had two specific clients that I considered my gay dads, just because I talked to them about life and boys and just my dreams and goals, and they just gave me really sound advice. Now, one of them is an uncle to a very famous person, works in the beauty industry. I'm not gonna say who he is because I can't, but also I wouldn't anyway. I was telling him about just like my insecurities at the time, and I was bombarded with like so many beautiful people. Also, LA is a plastic surgery capital, so it's like whether you were beautiful naturally or not, people still looked a certain way. And he was like, really? Like, what would you change about your face? Like, tell me what you would do. And so I told him. The first thing I wanted to do was get some form of lip injections. Not because I wanted my lips to be bigger, because I think that they're the perfect size. They're kissable. I get no complaints. But because I would put on lip liner. I don't have a very symmetrical face. I have like a medium symmetrical face, and you can even tell in this video, kind of goes to the side. I talk to the side. And so I feel like my lips just weren't symmetrical. They weren't the same, and I could really tell when I would put on lip liner, and I wanted to fix that. I tried to do it with makeup, and makeup is not one of my gifts, and so I just ended up making the situation worse. And so I told him that I would want to get some form of lip injections to even out my lips, and he was like, okay. And so my next one is kind of like bigger. I didn't know it at the time, but it's big. So my next big one was I wanted to do something about my jawline, whether it was a chin implant or shaving down of my chin, just because on my face I have super prominent features. Everything is prominent. My eyebrows, my eyes, my nose, like everything is prominent. And I felt at the time that I didn't look feminine. Not that I looked masculine, but you know, feminine faces are round and softer and delicate, and nothing about me is delicate. My body's not delicate. I'm not delicate. My face is not delicate. Like everything is in your face, prominent, you notice it. And I wanted to do something to make it feminine. And so I thought that if I got my chin done, right, whatever they would do could achieve the look that I was going for. Maybe I did want a rounder face because, you know, round faces are feminine and cute, and that's just wasn't what I was born with. The thing about LA being a plastic capital of the world, honestly, is things are a lot more affordable. I do think that plastic surgery and Botox fillers, more women are getting them because they can afford them, right? And so I'm just telling him my plan. Like, when I have money, I think I'm gonna save up for lip injections, and I want to decrease my chin in some way or make my face rounder. And he's like, Lauren. So again, this man that has been around celebrities for most of his life and works in beauty, he was like, all the features that you want to change about yourself, women pay thousands of dollars to have what you have for free. and don't take that for granted. And so I started to think, I was like, yes, you're right. Because again, everyone has plastic surgery out there. Everyone wants to attain a certain look. And he was like, you know, you want to change your chin, which would change your whole face. He was like, I would not have the same face that you're looking at had I gotten my chin done, which he told me is a Valentine chin. And women pay money to get chin implants. People pay money to get chin implants to achieve this cut jawline. I'm a little chunky at the moment because I gained some weight because I changed my birth control. It is what it is. But like when my face is thinner, I have a jawline for days. Like when I smile, I have cheekbones, cheeks for days. And in my mind, it all just made me feel too much. Like there was something about it to me at the time that I was like, not that I didn't feel pretty, but I didn't feel feminine, you know, like, and I just wanted to change something that would make me feel feminine and fit in with all the other societal beauty standards that I saw, especially being in a place like LA. And he told me that I have a face for high fashion. He was like, baby girl, you have a Vogue face. He was like, all the things on your face are what photographers look for. And so after this conversation, I kind of started seeing myself a little different. Not that I was out there for modeling, right? I'm a musician first before I'm anything. But being told that like my face leaves an impression, it stands out. It's what photographers and high fashion brands would be looking for, kind of made me start thinking that being different wasn't so bad. Having these very prominent features wasn't so bad because it made me stand out. It made me get noticed. And in the specific industries that I'm in, that's a good thing. But also if you're just living your life, like your face stands out, like it gives people pause, you know, it makes them want to do a double take, triple take, stare at you. And so ever since this conversation, I was like, fine, I'm not going to get plastic surgery. Because again, I wasn't really aware that changing my chin would change my whole face. And that's not what I was trying to do. My lip situation, I was like, whatever, you know, again, I don't get no complaints. I've just learned to live with that, even though sometimes when I look at pictures or when I get photographed, I'm like, my lips are just slightly uneven, but it is what it is. But after that conversation, being told by someone who worked in the industry and has been around gorgeous people his entire life, I was like, okay. Again, I was a musician, so I had a manager one time. I was getting ready to film a music video, so I was going in for a fitting. I was speaking to the fashion designer, and he said something to me that's like stuck. He was like, I don't want her in anything that's going to take away from her face, because her face is her greatest accessory. And I was like, damn, okay. He was like, I don't want her in extravagant makeup or anything that will take away from people looking at her face. And so now I'm getting told this repeatedly, and I'm like, okay, Lauren, like, if I didn't get it the first time, that was something I was getting told. I was like, okay, I'm not ever going to touch my face. Okay. One of the biggest lessons that I learned from being in California and being told that I have a Vogue face, like, he should have never told me that, because I'm gonna have a certain pump up in my chest for the rest of my life, okay? But just because I didn't fit societal standards of beauty doesn't make me any less beautiful. Just because I may not feel, or society may not view me as the most beautiful woman in the world, still doesn't make me any less beautiful. Does that make sense? And that was something that I had to hear, because at that time, I genuinely wanted to change all the things on my face that made me special, that made me stand out. And that was something that I needed to learn. It's hard being unconventionally attractive. It really is, because you have features that people are going to call ugly. You have things about you that people are going to be like, why are people attracted to that? So when you have a lot of those things, right? Like I feel like I do, like the women and the young girls that I was seeing on these videos do, it hurts and it's hard. Because when you're unconventionally attractive, you get twice the amount of notice, but you also get twice the amount of hatred. You're gonna get notice in the hatred that comes with being attractive. We all know that. But you also get double, because people are attracted to you and they don't know why. they're staring at you because they're gravitated to you in some form or fashion, and they don't know why. And it's also the people who are noticing this who don't understand why those people are attracted to you. Because if they're going to be honest with themselves, they're attracted to you too. There's something about you that gives them pause, that gives them a reason to want to look and stare. But people are haters, right? So they're just gonna hate you even more, and that's hard. So I don't blame women for wanting to just go under the knife or get the needles in the face or wear their hair a certain way or wear certain clothes, because it's easier to just fit in. It's easier to try to strive to attain the natural beauty standards, because it kind of makes you fit in, but then you fit in with everyone else. And so it's counterproductive in my way of thinking, because it's like, if you want to get noticed, why would you do what everyone else is doing? If you want to stand out, why would you do things that are going to make you fit in? You know, not everyone's intentions is to stand out, is to get noticed. But I feel like the same thing applies when you're at home and you're staring at yourself in the mirror. It's like, I don't want to stare at something that I see 10 times a day on social media, or that I walk outside and everyone has the same outfit, everyone's wearing their hair the same way, everyone has like the same facial features. Like, no thanks. So I'm naturally rebellious in spirit. Like, that is just in my nature to question everything, rebel against everything. So if everyone's going left, I'm automatically going right. And so me not fitting societal standards of beauty is just on brand. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I love that for myself. I also just can't understand why people want to follow trends and fit in. That's like concepts that my brain just can't wrap its mind around. And that's okay. You know, different strokes for different folks. But for the brown women and the brown girls who are seeing this, we were never meant to fit in with Eurocentric standards of beauty. We were never meant to be in that lane. That is a lane that wasn't meant for us. And again, I'm glad that a lot of brown women are starting to say that on the internet, where everyone can view it, including other brown women, including other brown girls, but also everyone else. It's kind of like standing up and being like, we don't care about your standards of beauty. We have our own, and we're going to live our truth and set ourselves to those standards. I feel like there's a shift in society right now, and I'm here for it. I'm loving it so much.